Tyreek Hill released by the Miami Dolphins. Where does he land? Now, this isn't the biggest news, hence we waited a little bit to go live on this, but I break down any piece of news, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 20 seconds after it happens. Depending on how important it is, we'll be live and we'll jump on it. This is not an elite wide receiver 1. This is not an elite fantasy football wide receiver 2. This is a guy that maybe somehow, some way climbs into a wide receiver 3 or deep flex play in a league where you have 2 flexes. You know, this is something that could potentially come to fruition if the right spot was available, the right quarterback, he healed properly. He's not a spring chicken. This is probably the end of the road in terms of greatness for Tyreek Hill. But he says, I will return. I will return strong. They always say that when they get injured. I'll return stronger, bigger, better. I'll be great. But let's break down what we think. And we got our boy Antonio Brown, who blocked your boy Smitty. Not his ESPN network. That didn't block me. But AB blocked me because he said you got budget when I talked to him frequently. And then eventually just thought, hey, AB and I are cool enough. I can ask him, you want to come on the show? He said, you got budget? I said, no, I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't want to pay. I thought we were buds. Boom, blocked me. No, you got budget? We're not friends. So I can't even reach out to him anymore. He did clip stuff from the Fantasy Football Show on his X account, and then we would talk about him on the Fantasy Football Show. We had a little bit of a give and take going on for a while. I'll still report on what he does. He doesn't need to talk about this show anymore, but I don't care. He says Tyreek Hill is headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This coming from his ESPN network, that the Steelers will be acquiring or be signing Tyreek Hill. We will see if Antonio Brown is correct. He's been correct on a few things. He's been very, very wrong on others, but we still report on what he's reporting on because that's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. It's worked out pretty good so far. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot to go over here. First of all, it is almost March 1. Does anybody know what March 1 is? Can I get a couple guesses in the chat? What is March 1? Does anybody know? I can almost guarantee none of you know. I'm going to almost guarantee, I'm going to give 5 guesses to you guys in the live chat. I'm pretty sure not one of you are going to get this correct. What is March 1? What does it mean? What's the significance of it? Let's see. Did you cover the Raiders OC hire? We've talked about all of the hires, but we will certainly talk about whatever you want. Drop a super chat, drop a question, call in. The new NFL year, no. Free agency day 1, no. Free agency, no. No. Tyreek Hill's birthday. And he turns a whopping 32 years of age. So this man, Tyreek Hill, turning 32, coming back from an ACL tear. Not going to be an easy feat. Learning a new offense. Wide receivers changing offenses is never a good idea. It usually leads toward some sort of, some sort of slow start, or they don't get everything put together for a full season. So this is not a good combination of things. That is probably the most devastating thing you could accumulate in terms of data for him. 32 years old, ACL injury. Coming off an ACL injury at 32, you're going to heal a lot less. You're not going to be like Watson coming back from it, Neighbors coming back from an injury. This is going to be a very different recovery for a 32-year-old. Hamstrings, this is probably the biggest thing that no one's going to talk about. But your boy Smitty brings the heat here. We do it live. Okay, best deep fake non-doctor on the internet. This is going to be the critical part. ACLs are often accompanied by hamstring injuries when you come back from the ACL tear. You're very susceptible. Tyreek Hill being a speed guy is going to have more susceptibility to hamstring situations and injuries as he gets older, more so than the average bear. So, speed guy taking on more risk for hamstring injuries. Think of Deshaun Watson, remember? Or not Deshaun Watson, I'm sorry. Think of Deshaun Jackson, how quick he was. Quick twitch, speedy guy, hamstrings, paper thin. By the end of his career, he just would pull a hamstring getting out of bed. Deshaun Jackson would literally come back light. This is like a couple years ago. Light it up, go down the field like a lightning bolt, catch a touchdown grab, and we're like, wow. Then like on a Wednesday, out of nowhere, it'd be like he's questionable to practice today. Thursday, got a little hamstring thing. Friday, done for the season. Like what? Wait a minute. So this is going to be a big problem. ACL recoveries are notorious for hamstring. Why? Compensation injuries. Whenever you're coming back from an ACL tear, you're very skeptical to trust the knee. And so you tend to like favor the other leg a lot more, put a lot of weight on the other one. And even when you plant with your bad leg, you're pulling up short. You just don't trust it. Think of it like you're on top of a ladder, okay? On the very, very, very top of the ladder. You climb all the way up. You're never supposed to step on that top step, right? It's wobbly. There's no one holding it. And it comes out from under you. That's how you feel when you have an ACL tear. When you tear your ACL, which you can see on the back of this model, but it's in the center of the knee, your knee feels like it's been severed. See the two joints? This ligament, your MCL, your LCL, and then your ACL and PCL are essentially holding those two joints together against the padding, which is the meniscus. And this whole knee operates like that. If you were to, when they do total knee replacements, they sever everything, put in a metal plate here, and a dish right here, and that's how they connect that knee. When you tear your ACL, you feel like this is like wobbly, like it's you're on the top of a ladder, and it's just going to come out from under you. And it takes a year before you stop feeling that feeling. And so you compensate, you pull up, you definitely don't plan on it right. And then that creates the hamstring injury. Given that this man's going to be susceptible to hamstring injuries because of the ACL, given that he's 32 and that'll make him susceptible to the hamstring injury because he's that speed guy and his hamstrings are just getting fired at a different rate than the average bear. It's all 100% hamstring. This guy's going to be a walking injury, just a walking injury at 32. And on top of that, new team is never good for a wide receiver. It's always troublesome. It's going to be a sporadic play. And then who's his QB going to be? Who's going to bring him in? Now, some say he'll be back in KC. They're going to want to bring him back in KC, maybe. But that's not really a good place for him. Everyone might think it is, but it's not. Rice is there. Let's say Rice is out for the season because of his new off-the-field situation, which is just, when's it going to end with this guy? Never, probably, right? Then maybe there's an opportunity here, but you got Worthy there. He's a speed guy there. It sounds like it could be good, but it's not necessarily going to end up being all that plentiful. Does he go to Buffalo? Guess what? We saw Amari Cooper go to Buffalo. That didn't work at the end of his career. Could he go to New England? We saw Diggs. It's going to be the same thing. Nothing's gonna remedy the fact that he's 32 years of age, coming off an ACL tear, likely to have hamstring injuries because of being 32 and his hamstrings are about paper thin, and the ACL contributing to that effect. New team, new QB. None of it is good. So when he says, I will return, he vows to return. The cheetah will be back. Here's the quote. Tom Pelissero's report right here, but this is the released Instagram tweet, whatever, that he tweet and Instagram post. The cheetah will be back. Of course he's going to say that. He's unemployed right now looking for a contract. What's he going to say? Everybody, I'm probably going to try. We're going to try. I don't know if I have it in me, but we'll try. Anybody want to sign me? He's going to be like, I'll be back. I'll be stronger, bigger, better, faster than ever. He can say whatever he wants. But the other thing we also have to consider here when we start breaking down whether the cheetah has any, look at all this. This is all negative. 1, 2. This is like another aspect of it. 3, 4. The other negative here is that he looked like Shiat. Let's draw a little poop emoji. He looked like, let's see. Let's draw a 3D poop emoji. Okay, a real good one. Boy, Smitty, he knows how to draw. It's just so little stink. He played like trash. He played like a poop emoji the entire final season where it's just drop a poop emoji in the live chat. There's just nothing like to springboard off of. It'd be one thing if he was on fire when he tore his ACL, but the guy hasn't played well for over a year on the field. A year now, it's a lot longer. But what's there to hang on to? Like, does anybody think he's just going to all of a sudden come back from the ACL tear at 32 with a new team, with a new scheme, with a new coach, and he hasn't played good for a while? Like, what are we actually talking about here? Would I take him in a best ball draft more so than a yearly league draft? And the reason there's a difference is that if you divide best ball into this side and then this side, we're talking about non-best ball. Non-best ball, you can't take him because you're never going to start him at the right time. Kind of think of Diggs, but a lot worse situation coming off the injury and not likely being as far along as Diggs was, and Diggs was looking good like early in the offseason. But think about Diggs. In yearly league drafts, you got screwed because you'd start him, he wouldn't do anything, you'd bench him and he'd do something. You can't predict any of it, and it's not consistent enough to draft. Because if you get 4 games out of it, and you're lucky enough to start them at the right times, and you are lucky enough not to start them, that's still not enough. You're holding that guy on your bench. It's not worth it. Redraft, no go. It's just a no go. I can't, unless the situation, and I'll adjust and adapt. If he goes somewhere amazing, and there's opportunity, he starts looking good, and there's reason to adjust my evaluation and projection, I'll come in and do it. It's no problem. It doesn't even mean we failed it. It's just right now, this is a very educated look at this situation. This isn't guesswork. This isn't trying to be hopeful. This is using logic. If the logic changes, if the game changes, if the chessboard looks different a month or 2 from now, I'll come in. I'll be the first person to say, you know what? I guess this one's going in a different direction. Let's adjust and adapt as quickly as we can. I don't think that's going to be the case, but this is just in redraft. Again, if we divide this into redraft and best ball, there's nothing here. You can't predict any of it. In best ball, if you guarantee me he plays well for 4 games, that's actually not a bad wide receiver to grab in the final round, let's say, because you're probably grabbing rookies that could do nothing all year until the end of the year anyway. You're probably grabbing guys that could be sporadic. Think of like a potential Tesla, or a Bryant from the Denver Broncos, or a rookie like Jeremy Bernard, who I love a lot. One of those guys might do nothing for 9 weeks in best ball, but you're still taking him at round 19, round 20. On Underdog, promo code Smitty, by the way, if you want to draft in one. We're doing best ball big board, $10, 200,000 to first place, 100,000 to second place. And it's 20 rounds right now, which is 2 rounds extra normal than like Best Ball Mania. So you got like 2 picks to play with, and you're going deeper into the pool. So you're definitely going to see Tyreek Hill get drafted. And he's not a bad, a pick at round 18, 19, 20. It's not bad, because that's where Jeremy Bernard, who I like a lot, by the way, Malachi Fields, another rookie I love. Those 2 rookies are really good to grab in late best ball. But Tesla, Bryant, Kyle Williams for the Patriots, like these are the kind of names that are in round 19 and 20. So yeah, take a stab, because if you get 4 games out of them, that's as good as anything you're getting there. 2 different worlds. Best ball, sure, end of your draft. Non-best ball, don't even think about it. Not until we have some sort of tangible reason to change our minds. By the way, we got Rumble. We got BBQ dropping a gifted membership. By the way, those of you on Rumble right now, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have my Rumblers. I don't know if you know this, but we have now a tip jar on Rumble, and it's a Rumble wallet. Those of you who don't know about it, I guess if anybody who has a Rumble wallet knows, and it's the culture over on Rumble. So YouTube's a little different, but we now have the tip jar up on Rumble. So if anybody has a Rumble wallet and they tip in crypto, that is up. It's just fantastic. I'm so excited about the Rumble wallet being activated.
Mashed potatoes!
It'll be even more exciting when we get our first Rumble tip. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. That's the culture over on Rumble, so it'll be exciting. Over on YouTube right here, we got a guy named BBQ who just dropped a $5 super chat.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
And we do have Rumble Rants still on Rumble, and we do have the gifted memberships. You can't get memberships outside of the live streams, which is different. You know, we just have to get used to that on Rumble. I got rid of the locals thing because it was just confusing. But on Rumble, there's Rumble Rants, which are super chats, gifted memberships, which are just 1 month long memberships. There's no reoccurring or anything like that. And you can't get them on your own. It's just all gifted. Those are the ways to support on Rumble. Rumble Rants, the tip jar, which is the crypto Rumble wallet, and then also the gifted membership. So appreciate you all on Rumble. Let's see here. What do we got here? You will be sorry you released me. You aren't even on a team. You know what we call washed cheetahs? Retired to the wildlife sanctuary, says BBQ. BBQ, appreciate you, BBQ to the moon. BBQ ain't wrong. And what is Cheetah gonna say? You know, we just know. Again, best ball, take a stab, sure. Not in a lot of leagues, but once in a while, sure. Why not? Let's see here. I think we got what do we got here? In 6 seasons with the Chiefs, Hill had 479 catches, 6,000 yards receiving. I mean, that's definitely fun to go down memory lane, crack shot, but they say, as Tony Soprano said, the most boring form of conversation is remember when. But, you know, we'll see. BBQ, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to open the phone lines. There's not much more to talk about here or discuss. We'll definitely be back at 8 p.m., but I want to open the phone lines and have a conversation with you guys about this and see what you guys think. But at the end of the day, I just don't know that this is going to lead to anything. It's just it's why I didn't go live right away. It's not crazy breaking news. It's interesting, and it definitely needs to be addressed, and I'm getting enough DMs. I know when I need to go live on something because I literally have the whole world text messaging me, DMing me, emailing me, telegramming me, knocking on my window like Gump and Draven used to do. Lots of reasons how I know to get on here and discuss something, and everybody wants to talk about this. So here we are, and there's a compartmentalized video per usual when something like this happens, and we're here. New Age to the moon. Appreciate you, New Age. New Age gifted 1 membership over on the Rumble channel side of the fence. Doing it live.
Mashed potatoes!
New Age, thank you, pal. New Age to the moon. New Age is an animal. BBQ's an animal. I don't know where Hebrew Hammer is. Remember how heavy Hebrew Hammer brought the Thunder? And then all of a sudden he just vanished. Maybe he's just a redraft or a in-season guy. I can't wait to see Hebrew Hammer back on the Rumble, though. Smitty mashed potatoes, cooking live stream. That's right, my boy. All right, let's open the phone lines up. Dial in. Cheetah, any Cheetah conversation, or if you have another question. But try and lead with the Cheetah when you call in. And then if you have another question, I'd be glad to help.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Be glad to assist you with whatever you want, but we definitely want to try and tackle this. Bruce, your life. Hello.
Hey, Smitty.
Yep.
I got 2 landing spots I would like for the Cheetah, and I don't know if you discussed them. One is Oakland. If you put them in Oakland, and you draft Mendoza, and
there is no Oakland.
Kind of help or Vegas.
There you go.
And see, he can help him out.
Like Ron
and
San
Genty.
Diego. You go Oakland or San Diego. What about St. Louis? He could go to St. Louis. That's the thing, is he's probably going to St. Louis, Oakland, or San Diego to the indoor arena league. I don't like him in LV. I have to strongly disagree with you, Bruce. And I know it's not a bad idea, you know, like to think about this, like who could come over and help, but Bro, he just get in the way. You don't want, if you're Kubiak, you want to develop somebody alongside of Mendoza, not give him something that's inconsistent, then rip it from him, then give him something new, then he's got to get reported that. You want to bring in Alec Pierce. You want to bring in a rookie, a top 3 rookie wide receiver, or a Denzel Boston, or a Casey Concepcion, whatever wide receiver you like after the big 3 rookie wide receivers. You want to bring in, I mean, if you want to bring in a Mike Evans, that would be a little different because of what he could give. I don't think Tyreek Hill's giving anything to anybody. He's out for himself. He's not the kind of mentor type wide receiver for a quarterback like Mendoza. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame monster. Not that Tyreek Hill doesn't come with some of that, statistical, type of career accolades, but Mike Evans brings a whole different dynamic. And not to mention, could he play 2 years and be okay? The second year be pretty good. The first year, maybe. And could he teach the other wide receivers around him? Yeah, I think Mike Evans would be intriguing. But I still, if I'm Vegas, I'm trying to build something alongside of Mendoza at the exact same time so that there's continuity from 2026 to 2027. This isn't something I want to do patchwork with. Go trade for a Dunze. Go trade for BTJ. BTJ seems like the most intriguing option to me. Because I know there's talent there. AJB's kind of temporary as well. Pickens would be unbelievable. Pierce would be phenomenal. Dobbs is pretty good. And when you got Bowers, a guy like Dobbs or Wandell would suffice because you got such an interesting dynamic already in the tripod that is Mendoza, Bowers, and Genty. You throw in an Alec Pierce or a Wandell or a Dobbs, it's enough. It's enough. I'd certainly like more, but I definitely think it could work. Maybe even better to not have more. Maybe quietly it's better to have Alec Pierce than it is to have a big name player that's taken away from Bowers. BBQ dropping a 50 wad. Hold on, Bruce.
Give me $50, holla. Get back.
BBQ says, New Age and Travis are absolute legends. New Age got me started giving away memberships, and Travis is Mr. Consistency, the voice of reason, best show community and mods. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, BBQ. Appreciate you. Thank you, New Age, for dropping that gifted membership. I can't wait to see that how the Rumble wallet works. I'm really intrigued by the tip jar. I've been looking at it into it all day and all night, and I got it all set up and we're ready to go. BBQ, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You guys are unbelievable. I'm so excited about I don't mean to keep talking about Rumble to the YouTubers too, but look, they're both gonna live together, and you're gonna need both of them. Well, I'm excited to grow every aspect of the fantasy football show, and what I'm even more excited about is free agency and how the YouTube community goes crazy. Our community goes nuts. We're here literally living, breathing, eating, sleeping football news. And when something breaks, I will go live. I don't get a lot of sleep during the league new year in the end of March because there's a lot of news that breaks. So it'll be fun and interesting. It'll be very, very tiresome, but it'll be fantastic. All right. Thank you, BBQ, again for the $50 holler.
I smell meatloaf.
Thank you,
Travis,
BBQ.
Go ahead real quick, Bruce, and then I'll go over to Travis. Speaking of the devil.
I only have one other place I'd like to see him in, and this might make me sound even dumber, and that's the Giants. I'd like him to take this, not the number 1 seat, the back seat to Neighbors, and maybe then he'll end up being, like, he'll stay a little bit more healthy, knowing, hey, I'm not the number 1 receiver anymore.
Okay.
1A, 1B.
All right.
Jackson Dart has Hill, Neighbors,
All right. All right, hold on, Bruce. Mute yourself real quick. Stay right there. Let me go over to Travis. Travis, you're live.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I mean, I personally don't want him to go anywhere good. Like, I'd rather have him just go to some middling spot where he's not going to, take anything away from anyone, or, where he's either the number one on a bad team or just, an ancillary piece. Like Baltimore would be fine, I guess. Looking at other teams, I don't know if Philly lost A.J. Brown, you could send him there, I guess. There's just not many places I want him to go and, cause a problem, basically, because I don't know what to make of it either. Can't expect to go and be a number one somewhere, but is his mindset going to be like that?
I just think that you're just adding up, the logical parts of this that make no sense. Wide receivers that change teams usually struggle very, very much their first year.
Right.
And you can look at does anybody believe like I do that Amari Cooper actually had another year left? I'm not saying he does anymore, but when he got traded to Buffalo, he was playing kind of well in spots before the trade. He goes over and he just wastes away, and that was his last opportunity. And then everybody just thought he sucked when he got to Buffalo. He didn't. He just didn't jive. It doesn't work very easily. Moving teams is tough. And I'm not saying it can't happen if you're in your prime and your quarterback's perfect and the scheme's just right. A lot of things need to line up, but moving situations and beggars can't be choosers. It's not like he gets to go find the ideal fit for him. He's going to have to take whoever's willing to bring him in. There's going to be one or two, maybe three teams that are even interested. And then they bring him in, and then who's to say he even fits in that scheme or he likes that scheme? Then he's got to jive with that quarterback. He trash talks his quarterback all the time. And this is a guy that's coming back from an ACL tear at 32 years of age. It's very different. You can tear your ACL at 19, 20, 21, and you can be as good as new within 9 months. It literally can hold you back almost nothing. And you can almost be better than you ever were. At 32 years old, it is a completely different ballgame. The healing process, the aches, the pains, the fact that, he's going to walk in not where he needs to be, and he's never going to test it till he gets on the field. They're going to always play cautious with him. And then he's going to go out and do all these reckless races and things, I'm sure, where he's putting himself in vulnerable spots. He'll probably get hurt running some 100-yard dash against, a chicken or something. I don't know. So all these things adding up just spell, what in the hell is anybody thinking? 32, ACL, hamstring accompanies the age. Hamstring accompanies the ACL. The combination of that just spells hamstring. If he doesn't have a hamstring injury by opening day, I will be shocked. But I know he will. New team, played like crap. We haven't seen him play well. He hasn't played well in how long? What do people think he's going to finally come back and play well off of all this? It makes no sense whatsoever.
And, you're going to hear a lot of, Stephon Diggs was 32, but the thing is, Stephon Diggs, he's like a technician. He's a route runner. He's got amazing footwork. He's very precise, where Tyreek Hill is just a freak athlete, just speed and hard cuts and using that athleticism. And so it's a whole different game, where Diggs creates space and gets open and moves around a little bit. Tyreek Hill needs that explosion. And if you think back, there are different players, but think back to another speed guy, Deshaun Jackson. Towards the end of his career, he still had his speed even, but every time he got out there,
it was always an injury with Deshaun. And where did Diggs finish last year for wide receivers? Let me pull that up real quickly. So
say 15 or 18 or something.
Yeah, Diggs 17. So I've Diggs 17 here. And that's in a ideal situation where there's no wide receiver one.
Right.
He was sporadic, very, very sporadic. He had 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill, could he walk into a 900 and let's call it a little less yards, 904, which is what Diggs really did, 1,013 yards, 4 touchdowns. So 904, certainly. But the problem is he's going to accumulate a big chunk of that in 4 or 5 game span, and you just have to predict where it is. So in best ball, yes, I'm fine with it. You take, especially in the 18, 19, 20 round range, and right now the big board goes to round 20. That's a perfect place to take him. Round 19, round 18, whatever.
Well, that's the problem. because he's going around 13 right now. He's going 149.
Yeah. Well,
So.
that's crazy. And then if you put him in redraft, hell no. Because when are you ever going to play him at the right time? You're not. You're going to send him out there. He's going to do nothing. You're going to put him out there again. He's going to do nothing. You're going to cut him or bench him. Then he's going to have a 70-yard. But even then, it's like, when's the last time Tyreek Hill played well at all? So, I'll pull up Tyreek Hill and look at his game log here.
Well, he only played 4 games last year.
Right.
That's the thing.
And
even before he got hurt, he was on pace for I think it was 1,100 with 4. So that's before he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was dropping off.
It's crazy, bro. I'm not even interested. I'm not even interested unless it's in best ball. Best ball, I'll take him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Frazier with a super chat here says, "What?" Let me rephrase that. In best ball, I would take him at the ADP I'm suggesting, which he's going way earlier. So best ball, I won't take him. So never mind. Let me rephrase that. I'm not taking him anywhere because I'm not willing to take him in round 14 or wherever. What are these moves do for Waddle? Who's throwing the football to Waddle? What's this offense going to look like? We got to wait for all that to come out. I'm not willing to bank on it before it happens. There's some situations that I say, hey, you know what? Buy into it now. It's going to, like JJ. We don't know what JJ's situation is going to be, but I love it because you get him at a discount, and I'm confident they're going to have a Mac Jones or somewhere around there for JJ, so I'm buying. With Waddle, you have no clue what this is going to look like, and there's a chance it's worse than you thought. So Waddle is a complete avoid to me, and he's been an avoid to me his entire career. Everybody's been waiting and waiting and waiting. How long are you going to wait on him? How long are you going to waddle around on this topic? He's a good player. That he's always been a good player, and I will get on board if they bring in Malik Willis, who they could, because there's a lot of ties to the Green Bay staff. So it makes sense to Malik Willis. So if they bring in Malik Willis, I could get behind it, but where's he going to go? Once Malik Willis lands on the roster, the hype for Waddle is going to go up tremendously. So there's probably a chance that I'm out again once Waddle gets his quarterback. I just think Waddle is a tough player to believe in. He played so awful last year. What was he ranked? Waddle was, I don't even know if I even know where to start beginning to look.
24.
Better than I thought, to be honest. 24. So he finished with his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Did he not play week 17? Did he get hurt or something? I don't know. So he got a target. His last 6 games were 52-0, 40-0, 50-1, 26-0, 72-0, and 0. And he got a target that game, 0. Just been trash for how long? His season in 2025, he ended up with 64, 9, 10, and 6. I mean, that's not a horrible wide receiver to have on your roster, but where's he going? What's his cost of entry? On Underdog right now, his ADP, I'll pull it up, is probably way higher than that value. So let's just see. Waddle is going at number 52 overall. Guess who's above him? McLaurin, Ibuka, like one spot above. I'll take Ibuka over Waddle all day long. Guess who's below Waddle? Carnell Tate, Christian Watson, Mekhi Lemon, Roma Dunze, Jordan Tyson, BTJ, DK Metcalf, Marvin Harrison Jr., Parker Washington, Michael Wilson, Alec Pierce, all below Waddle. No, thank you. So, will I draft Waddle in 2026? After looking at that, hell no. Hell no. Every one of those wide receivers, even Alec Pierce, I like more than Waddle. That is a slew of picks. I mean, you could maybe argue, maybe I'm overstepping a little bit on that. Maybe there's one or two of those guys I might like more or like less. But I don't know, maybe not. I mean, my initial reaction is I'd probably rather have Alec Pierce. We don't know where Alec Pierce will be, but I think he'll be somewhere amazing because he's about to get paid bank. He's about to get $20+ million a year, potentially. So Parker Washington, I want over Waddle. DK, I think, is going to have a good year with McCarthy. Marvin Harrison Jr., I'd rather take the chance on him than Waddle. And then you've got Brian Thomas Jr., who the hell knows where he is. And if he stays, he's got potential. He's number 4 wide receiver in 2024. So, there's still upside there. Waddle hasn't been that good. No Waddle for me. No Waddle for me.
Yeah.
Really no Dolphins but Achane. But I'm even a little concerned about Achane. Not that I'm avoiding him, but I'm probably going to dial back some of my Achane exposure because it's hard to imagine things being even remotely close to as good without Tua checking down to Achane, which is what Tua did as a hobby. Hey, Tua, what are you doing after the game? Still checking down to Achane in my mind. All day long, I'll drive home checking down to Achane. When I close my eyes and go to sleep, checking down to Achane. People don't realize how important Tua Tagovailoa was to Achane's PPR success. So you rip him from the situation which they did at the end of the year, and we saw it. It was evident. Miami Mike was still there, commanding the offense, and Achane, his reception work went away. And now all of a sudden you take Miami Mike, turn him into Malibu Mike. You bring in, you don't know what you're going to be looking at quarterback, and there's concern there. I love Achane, but there's concern there. There's enough to dial back. You just got to dial it back. And that includes Waddle.
I think because both of them are, young enough, they probably won't trade him, especially Achane. I mean, if I was running the Dolphins, though, I'd trade Waddle and Achane, get as much as I can, and go to the bottom of the league for the 2027 draft. Just because, I mean, they're going nowhere, and I mean, Achane and Waddle, and they say they sign Malik Willis, you're not going to get a top 3 or 5 pick probably, so it's like, what direction do they really want to go? But
yeah, I don't know.
I doubt they'll trade Achane just because I think there's a chance, but I doubt that'll end up happening just because he's so young and they want to keep one star on the team.
I mean, if you're being brought over, I know everybody says it's very trendy, and I'm not saying you're saying a trendy thing. I'm just saying it is trendy to say, oh, they're not going to win, and they're going to look to trade Achane because they know they can't win. That's very, very trendy to say. But if you're the coach, you don't think like that. He's not. This staff isn't walking over. Hafley's not saying, "Oh, we're just gonna lose." He thinks I'm gonna prove I'm the next Ben Johnson. I am the next Ben. I am him. That's what every coach that gets his new gig thinks. And unfortunately, when you're thinking like that, unfortunately because we want Achane somewhere else. The first thing on his agenda is not to get rid of his best player, that he can maybe prove everyone wrong that we could do this now. And so, or we could do it in a year. Let's say we do it in a year. We take a year. We don't get the Ben Johnson turnaround. But in 2 years, I'm going to be Ben Johnson. You will see. You will pay. Everyone that doubted me, you will pay. This is what you build around. You don't get rid of Achane. But
there's such little talent on that team. It's not going to work.
I know.
In my opinion.
I know. I agree. I mean, what are the odds that this staff is there 2 years from now? Almost zero. But all I'm saying is this coaching staff does not believe what we believe.
Yep.
They think they're going to be winners. BBQ to Saturn. Did you ever answer the prediction question from BBQ a couple streams ago? I'm still thinking on it. And I told BBQ I would get back to him. Let me see if I can find that. It's over here somewhere. I think it's on this screen right here. BBQ's question is right. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I had to go to that screen. I'm not ending the show. BBQ Patreon tree. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Let me get rid of this one right here. Frazier, what these moves do for Waddle. Thanks again for your super chat. What is your prediction for the biggest offseason move, trade, and then a surprise no one sees coming? I'll drop 50 memberships if you get it right. If you get either one right. I think I'll do it. I think I might do a show on this one. So I'm gonna really, I'm still thinking on it. And I think I'll do a show on it. Maybe a live stream, maybe not. I'm not sure. So I'll do a show on it. that way BBQ definitely gets his money's worth of that question. But thank you for asking that and following up. New Age to the moon. New Age outlaw to the mother freaking. Bruce, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hi,
I'm
Bruce.
still here.
Bruce,
Hey,
I know you like Tyreek. I know you like Tyreek a little bit in those situations. I don't, but what else are you thinking here? What do you think of Waddle? What do you think of Achane?
I love Achane. I'm hoping, me personally, and this is just me, and I could be an idiot because I don't do the drafts. I'm hoping this actually moves his value down, so he doesn't go up any higher. He goes down.
It will.
And
His situation definitely gonna, but how far down? No, not end the second round, but it certainly will make it you capable of getting Achane and a Bowers, Achane, and maybe even Achane and McBride. Like McBride's falling to like 13, 14 right now. If Achane was to fall to the bookend or right near bookend, you could finally have a weird build you never could build before. On Underdog promo code Smitty, link is in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done. The link will insert code Smitty for you. Draft a big board, $10 big board, 200,000 in first place. It's so awesome to have like 5, 10, whatever you can do. Don't do what you can't. Don't overextend. But if you have like 5, 10, whatever it is, in some cases hundreds, right? And then at the end of the year, you look and see what, or after week 14, you see what ones went into the week 15 first round of the playoffs, and it's just so fun to follow the teams you drafted in August and February, and it's unbelievable. So see where you can draft Achane if he falls. But yeah, Bruce, I mean, what do you say to my concerns though? You know, and again, I'm definitely drafting Achane. I'm not running away. We invented Achane here, but
Absolutely.
But what are your answers to no Miami Mike McDaniel? So the scheme that made Achane amazing is gone. Just like Sean Payton, if you took Sean Payton away from New Orleans right when they drafted Alvin Kamara would have never been.
I would,
because he believed in him and he used him. So what happens to Achane? He's proven now. The incoming staff knows who he is. They're not going to stray too far away from what fed, families before that. But do they know what they're doing? Will Willis check down to him? Will the scheme enable Willis to check down to him? If Willis is the quarterback, let's say. And if it's not Willis, if they go with Ewers, oh my God, bro. I don't know. I just don't know. It pisses me off.
I would say this. If they're smart and they're going to use him how he was used and they go get Malik Willis, if not, and here's my just opinion, what if they just use Achane as Green Bay did as Josh Jacobs in Green Bay?
Well, I mean, he's a different...
Josh Jacobs was...
They're not the same running back. Yeah, they're not the same running back, though. Achane is not a guy you're giving 22 carries up the gut game in and game out. This is the way they use Achane's the way that Detroit uses Gibbs in a way, and it's the way that New England should be using Hendy, but they don't. You use them a lot of stuff on the outside. You get them into open space. You don't want to give them all the up the gut work. You give them up the gut work so it can bounce it to the outside or just hit a hole and pop one for 80 yards. I'm not saying don't give them up the gut work, but it has to be strategic. Like when it's 1st and 15 because of a penalty, and you're going to run the ball up the gut because you're on the 8-yard line backed up into your own end zone. And you're getting 2 or 3 yards. You don't put in Achane. You don't put in Hendy. You give it to your guy. It's going to get you 2 or 3 yards. That's what Monty's supposed to be doing. That's what makes me so upset about coaches like Vrabel and everybody that uses these running backs wrong. Like, you only have so many touches with them. Give them the right touches and they'll deliver. But you can't use Achane like Jacobs, Bruce. But you definitely need to find a scheme, a quarterback, a coach, and we don't know what we have, to be honest, that's going to use Achane like Miami Mike did. I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. I have no idea what we're going to get. I'm definitely banking on talent, and I'm going to have a decent amount of shares of Achane. I always will. We ride and die. We invented Achane.
Let him cook.
We're not backing away from them, but we can't oversaturate, and we got to diversify in a few ways. Travesty dropping a super chat here, $5. Thanks, Smitty. Thank you, Travesty. What are you thanking me for, though? Thank you for thanking me, but I don't know what we're celebrating. Travis, what? Okay, so guys in the chat, let's really answer this question honestly. Odds, and then we're going to end the show here and be back at 8 p.m. Odds that Achane does get traded. Like Travis, everybody put in the chat. Be honest with yourselves. Don't just throw out something you wish. What are the odds that this staff does say we can't win and we need to build around it now and build a different scheme? Like build everything, we could have a year of losing, maybe even get maybe we even get Arch Manning because we're so bad. And I hate that thinking because you don't know, you can't guarantee you're going to get the one pick. You can't guarantee, you don't even know where he's going to, what pick do you have? Maybe there's another quarterback that you like. Maybe there's 2 or 3 quarterbacks coming out next year at the end of the day, and there will be. And there already are 2 or 3 candidates. How much are they thinking? Let's do this. Let's get the last pick in the draft and attack it that way. Like, what are the odds?
I think
10%.
I don't know. I was gonna say 25%.
I mean, there might be more than a 10% chance they trade Achane. I just don't think.
I like 25. 1 and 4.
And the reason I say 10, and this is going to get, and you said it earlier, Travis, you have to have stars to attract tickets to make money. Well, maybe Achane's just that one star that they're going to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I think and I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that, that's how these teams think sometimes. But to me, like, how many tickets is he really going to sell? They're going to, if they're like 2 and 8, people aren't going to be buying tickets. So
yeah, I don't think anybody like they're not having their record pre-sales right now. Like, oh, I got rid of Miami Mike McDaniel. Oh, Tua's getting probably not traded, probably cut. And we don't know what we're doing at quarterback. We also don't there's no record breaking pre-sales going on right now.
And depending on it all depends on what the new coaching staff thinks of Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon too, because they could say, well, we can go to the bottom of the league, we can get a ton for Achane because they would get a lot if he's on a rookie deal. A lot of teams would be interested.
Would you get enough though? Like, what would you get if it's a second and third rounder? I don't like that's the way these NFL teams think. I don't think he should get you he should get you multiple first rounders. That's how good he is. But would he even get a first rounder? I don't know that he would. You think he would?
I think you can maybe get a late first.
I mean, if Breece Hall almost got you a third, Achane, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, Achane's better than Breece Hall.
Yeah, but
so he should get you.
Yeah, but he's going to get you a second. I don't think he's getting. That's crazy though, right? Christian McCaffrey, and I know no one knew how much time he had left when he went over to San Francisco, but he ended up having a freaking lot of time left. He went for a second, a third, and a fourth rounder. There's no first rounder involved. I don't know. Achane's younger. I get it. Man, what would be the most ideal team for Achane? It would be one of the 4 teams we have on the board here for the landing spot board. Definitely New Orleans, KC, Dallas. If they don't bring back Javonte, Washington is a real sneaky place, especially if they get someone at the caliber of a Jeremiah Love via the draft at the 7 overall pick. Breece Hall, ETN, Kenneth Walker is probably going to be in Seattle, but just for craps and giggles, like those big enough names going to Washington or KC in places where you're not quite sure that they're going to lean on one guy, and you're always kind of disappointed with. You believe that Brashard Smith should get work, and then they don't give it to him. You believe that Bill Krosky Merritt should get all the work, and then they just drag their feet all year. These situations that have frustrated us would definitely be all in if they went, heavy and made the commitment. I think that, I think Achane's most ideal landing spot would be. I almost want to say New Orleans over KC. I think KC would be great. I think it'd be great. I think Achane would be great.
New Orleans or Minnesota would be great.
But New Orleans would be. I mean, this is where Kamara's thrived, and I know it's different. I know there's a lot of change that's gone on, but the way Shuck runs the ball, how good Shuck is right now, and how good Olave's playing, and the way I believe they would use the running back in that system, it would be an unreal landing spot. All of these spots would be great. Bottom line, KC would be good, and again, if they went after Achane in a trade, they would fully use him. They wouldn't just crap the bed on it. But I don't know, man.
And the other thing with it too is like he's worth a first, but say they could get like a second and a third, or 2 seconds, or whatever it is. Part of the figuring is you're getting rid of them to make sure you go to the bottom of the league, get that number 1 or 2 or 3 pick, whatever, and be able to build, because having him on your team the next 2 years isn't going to do anything anyways.
Yeah,
you're just burning away 2 years of his talent and costing you wins that you don't need. So
we'll see. It'll be, if he gets traded, it'll be the biggest. I mean, maybe this will come. Maybe I'll swing in a different direction here on the bold prediction that BBQ wanted me to make. Maybe Achane will be the biggest prediction that I make. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like my answer at first was hell no. Why would you trade him? And again, my answer still stands pretty firmly that it's trendy to suggest that this staff is smart enough to know to rebuild and that they can't win with Achane. But every staff believes they're the next big thing, So if they think they can win now just within a year of tweaking, then they're not going to want to trade Achane away. And to somebody that said they can't pay Achane, I don't know what team you're referencing, but this is a running back, bro. Running backs are very, very modestly paid comparatively to the other positions. There's not a problem. You can sign and you can structure.
You can restructure anything.
You structure a deal that's very upfront. You structure a deal that's going to pay a lot less the first year, and you can restructure other people as well. This is not a big deal. Not to mention teams can even, wiggle that stuff in, if they wanted to take on anything. I don't think they would, but I'm just saying. But there's no question Achane can be afforded. He's not getting paid $40 million a year like a wide receiver. Yeah, I'd still put it at I'd say, you know what? I'd say final answer, 8% chance he gets traded. That's a pretty low chance. I'm not expecting it, but I can't see them being that stupid. But it is a new staff. They may know and honestly, I'm not that confident in the names they've stacked up there, to be honest. Feels like a disaster. I think this staff will be gone in 2 years. Maybe the first year.
I'm the same boat as you, Smitty.
All right,
I think
Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce, we'll see you at 8 p.m. Call back in then, okay?
Yeah. Wait, Smitty, one final question.
Yeah.
Do you think my Malibu Mike is going to try to, dig in, get in their ear and try to get Hill to go to the Chargers?
He could.
That's intriguing.
He could. I don't know if I feel like he wants to bring the past with him though. I don't know. We'll see. I don't feel like the relationship was as good as that would require. I don't think so. I mean, bro, you got Lab McConkey. You got, like, there's a lot. Gadsden, there's a lot going on in LAC. I think there's a possibility they could look into it, kick the tires, tell him, hey, you could just be a role player or whatever. But I don't think he's intrigued by that, to be honest. A lot of people are going to say KC, go back to KC, but I don't know. It's certainly possible. KC hasn't been really hitting on the receivers lately anyway, so it will make sense that they mess up here. I feel like, Worthy was... I was not a huge fan. This is one of those things where it's like, how many times are we going to get tricked into a 40 time, making us change our mind at all on a player? And that's a big no-no for me. And even I got caught up a little bit because it was a situation, and because I said to myself, and just being honest here, he did look a little better, as you dig into a little bit more film, and you didn't dig into as much. I dug into a lot. I watched everybody. I always watch tons of film on everybody, but you're going to dig into more when someone becomes more relevant, because you're like, okay, this is a guy that's going here. We got to look at him even more. And I'll admit, like, some of his stuff was good, but he did come in super light, underweight, not a lot of success for players at his exact size and frame and everything, and not having a huge resume. And sure enough, it definitely didn't translate yet. I still have some hope for Worthy. I do. I think Worthy's a pretty good value in fantasy right now because he goes so late. He's practically free. But Casey just hasn't done really well at developing wide receivers. Look at Kadarius Toney. Look at who was the guy that broke his back and had his neck soldered or whatever. What's his name? It's so much upside. I think some people might not even know how good he was going to be, but he ended up breaking his neck, and they did a like a fusion thing on it, and to play on it was remarkable. But he just couldn't ever. I forget who the hell his name was. Someone's going to mention it, but they've had a lot of players with tons of upside. Kadarius Toney, that guy. Rice, they've been struggling to get consistency, and then now look, even more potential disaster, more offseason stuff for Rice. Rice could get suspended for 6 games, 0 games, or the entire season, or his entire career, or he could go to jail. It's hard to really know what's going to happen there. But this has just been KC just can't, so Tyreek Hill going back there, while it doesn't make sense to me, it makes sense to the narrative. Justin Ross, thank you. Justin Ross. I really liked Ross a lot.
I couldn't think of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of upside, but it just, none of it's been working out. Like Kadarius Toney, and I knew better on that one too. I was so anti Kadarius Toney, but I let KC influence me again. That's why you hear me a lot be very, very cautiously optimistic about KC as a landing spot, because everyone's like, "Oh, it'd be beautiful with the KC," and I'm always like, "It could be," but this is a team that is mucked up a lot, and. It's not like they just develop guys. It's a little weird there now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I like Clyde. Clyde had a lot of potential. Just because Clyde failed doesn't mean he's supposed to fail. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Pacheco's never really developed things. And we always ask if Andy Reid is the game passing Andy Reid by, and we always kind of say, no, it's just been, but you do wonder that too. Is he still able to keep up in this racket? I don't know. All right, I got to go. Travis, final thought?
No, the only reason why I say the Chiefs is if they either know or think or are pretty sure Rice isn't going to be there, I just say bring him in because he's, familiar with the system, but, veteran insurance. And honestly, if Worthy can't beat him out, then Worthy isn't worth it anyways. So, But yeah, I'd rather see him just go somewhere where he's, if there's anything left, he can get you a few decent games and see what happens from there. I don't want him mucking up any situation like the Chargers. That's another one I keep hearing. A.J. Brown could go to the Chargers. They want to sign Keenan Allen back. Tyreek Hill could go. I don't want anyone to go there. I want them to just develop the guys they have.
Yeah, I want Ladd to just explode. Gadsden to explode. Hampton.
Ladd, Gadsden.
Chargers don't need anything.
Even, like QJ Dougherty does, Lambert Smith, Trey Harris.
Yeah, Lambert Smith's got a lot of upside. They got plenty. They just need to get their offensive line healthy. Herbert's going to be a moon man this year, I think. I think Herbert's going to be a top 5 quarterback in fantasy. It's going to be a good year.
If Herbert's healthy, he's arguably the most talented quarterback out there. It's just things haven't been right around him.
And we've been playing, and I even did a show, saying how before Miami Mike was the offensive coordinator, and I was like, how long are we going to apologize for this guy? How long are we going to be Herbert apologists? I admit, I'm I'm tired of it, but man, am I excited about going all in on Herbert right now with the situation. I feel like it's all lined up. It's ready to go. If he can't do it this year, even if it's just bad luck, I'm done. Like Herbert's got everything he could possibly want right now. Everything should be healed up and back together. And you got Malibu Mike now controlling things. You got Ladd about to explode. Gadsden's going to take a huge step forward. Hampton's going to be a combo of not Achane and it's going to be Achane and Mostert combined. It's going to be a Mostert and Achane type of season for Hampton. He's going to be unbelievable.
Yep.
All right. Travis, we'll see you at 8 p.m. See you all at 8 p.m.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Guys, Rumblers, appreciate you over on Rumble. Don't forget, you can Rumble rant. You can gift memberships. And now I have the Rumble wallet tip jar, which it's the culture over on Rumble is the crypto tipping community. So we'll see when we get our first. We're going to celebrate on that one. That's going to be an enjoyable experience. And thank you all to my YouTubers. Thank you, BBQ, for dropping the gift of memberships. Frazier, thank you for your super chat. Travesty, thank you for your super chat. I forget what you were thanking me for. But thank you, both you gentlemen, for dropping those super chats. And then BBQ dropping his doubles right here. One was a $50 hauler. One was a $5 hauler. Appreciate all of you. I'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern. Rumblers, YouTubers, we'll see you here at 8 p.m. And then we'll go live at midnight Eastern and then should have a Dynasty show after that. So 3 more live streams. 2 of them on the main channel and Rumble, and then 1 of them on the Dynasty channel. See you all at 8 p.m. in about an hour and 20 minutes. Don't forget to check out the sponsors below, including MiamiLinks.com. Get your gold chains, your silver chains, your 999 silver chains. Mine's coming in. I can't wait to wear it. Tailbreaker.com. Can't wait for that to come in. That should be coming in this week. I'm going to do live streams out with the Forerunner. Put the Tailbreaker seats. You can see them right there. Let me see if I can find the Tailbreaker bit here. Let me show you guys. So basically the Tailbreaker seats, it goes right into the tow hitch. They're 360 swivel and those arms move around. I got some ideas too to kind of tweak some things, but we're going to do live streams from the back of the Forerunner. And it's going to be unbelievable using the Tailbreaker system and setup. Don't forget to check out gunner.com. We should be giving away. I'm talking with Gunner right now about giving away and making sure we're good to go for 2026. And if we are, we'll be giving away at least 1 pair a month of Gunners if that goes well. Can't wait for that. So one pair a month of Gunners. And then Underdog promo code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. Use code Smitty. The link is in the description. Don't forget to get on over to the 24/7 365 live chat Patreon. 24/7 talk. Links in the description. And then thefantasyfootballshow.com. Year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators. All the rookies are included. See you all at 8 p.m. Deuce. See you, Rumble. Deuce.